Today we will discuss what should merchants do in case their Magento website gets hacked and how to proactively prevent such hacks and malware attacks. Since we have limited time and a lot of things to cover, I'll try to be quick. We also have a small surprise for you guys after the end of the talk. So let's start. A little about me. I'm Sahil, CEO at MageHost. We started as a managed Magento hosting company, but we have grown a lot and we have added support for other platforms like WooCommerce, OpenCart, and we'll be rebranding as webscoot.io, faster e-commerce. I have 7+ years experience with Magento and security. Okay, how many of you think that your Magento website cannot be hacked? Anyone? Okay, so we have a pretty self-aware audience today. There is no such thing as an unhackable website. 30 to 200 e-commerce stores get hacked each day, and 20% of merchants get reinfected after a breach, which means that even after getting hacked, they do not pay attention to security. And as per our friend and a very well known name in the Magento community, Willem de Groot, 4.2% of Magento stores globally are leaking customer and payment data, which is a lot. Uh, Here are some of the common Magento malwares: MageCart, Cloud Harvester, Shoplift, Bizbot, Magento Core, Guru Inc. And if you are a merchant, you got to feel something like that. So why should merchants care about security and all these malware related things? If your website is hacked or it gets malware infected, it will be blacklisted by Google, by Bing, by McAfee. Your customer's credit card data can be stolen. You will lose sales, and your brand reputation will suffer, and your website's SEO ranking will go down, and your web host may even suspend your website due to abuse. So if your website gets malware infected, it will look something like this if it gets flagged by Google. And yes, it will escalate pretty quickly. So we have seen websites get listed, like show something like this within 24 hours of getting malware infected. So it's so quick. So how does this hacking and malware infections happen basically? The major reason is Magento security patches are not applied. So as all of you know that Magento is an open source platform. It regularly comes up with patches to fix the vulnerabilities and exploits that are identified. Developers don't usually patch these, and the bad guys use this information to attack the stores basically. Then the second reason could be bad extensions. We'll discuss about these later also. We'll share a list with you. These are the extensions that are known to have vulnerable code, so you should avoid using these extensions. Then it could be Apache or Nginx related web server exploits. Then it could be PHP exploits. The most common one is PHP web shells that are used to gain access. Then it could be SQL exploits or SQL injection. Then one other reason which is very common is Magento related insecure URLs. By insecure URLs, it is like the URLs can show you confidential information which can be used to gain access to your store. One such example is Magmai, which was used to import and export data. It could be the var folder that contains cache, session, exports, logs, all the information. And then it could be Magento config files. As per the Magento CV details from 2015 to 2019, the major reason for these CVs was cross-site scripting that contributed 41%. And the second one was code injection that contributed around 24%. Now, this is a small list of the Magento security patches that have come till date. But the good thing about Magento community is that we don't just crib about the problems, we also come up with solutions. So Mage Security Council has come up with a patcher that can be used to apply patches very easily. Any one of you know who all are the members of Mage Security Council? Anyone? Okay, so that's a homework for you guys. So we discussed about bad extensions. Here is a list curated by again our friend Willem de Groot, which is available on GitHub for Magento 1 as well as Magento 2. You can just go to this link, find out which all are the bad extensions that you should avoid using in your websites. Okay, so I did not pay attention to security and I got hacked. What should I do now? First of all, you should take a backup of all the files and the database in your current state, which you can refer later. Then you should run some scans. Scans are primarily of two types. One is external, second is internal. External scans are basically very simple scans that non-technical merchants can also run. You can just use Base Report, you can use Base Scan, you can use Sukuri. You just enter your website URL and they'll provide you a report, which will show what all vulnerabilities are present and if your website is hacked or not. There is also an option called Ecom Scan, which is a paid tool created by our friend Willem, which I have mentioned a couple of times. He was kind enough to share a coupon MM20IN specifically for you guys if you want to try it. Then the second scans that we discussed are internal scans. These are typically have to be installed on your server. Then they scan all the files present on the server. For that, you can use Maldet, you can use ClamAV, you can use Yara. Our personal favorite is Yara. So this shows basically an output of a malware infected website that was scanned using Sukuri check. As you can see, it will provide you all the details. It will show you basically which malware it found. I'm not sure if it's clear or not. It is telling that it was shoplift that we discussed. That shoplift with the malware it identified. And if you click on more details section, it would also show you the exact JavaScript it found out. Okay. Okay, so you found out, you ran some scans, you found out that there is an JavaScript present. Now you should remove it. So the most common places in M1 where these kind of injected JavaScripts were found was HTML head miscellaneous scripts and footer miscellaneous HTML. If you just go to it, you will find out that scripts are mostly present in these sections. The second most common attack vector that we have seen apart from injecting JavaScripts is injecting the PHP files. So the first image will show you the exact code that has been injected into autoload.php file. The second image shows you the same code that has been decrypted so that you can understand it. So what basically it is doing, it is passing all the information to a third party URL. Whenever it finds some of the keywords like billing, like CVV, like payment, like card, so it will send it to a third party. Okay. So you removed some of the JavaScript, you removed some of the injected PHP code, but how can you ensure that no more files are injected? So for that, you should do a diff between your Git files and your server files. And if you are not using Git, you can do a diff between your local development environment and your server files. So diff basically tells you the difference between the files that have changed. You can refer that to see if it's actual changes or some hacker has added or deleted some code from that. Okay, so a lot of times we have seen that when something like this happens, like a hack or a malware activity, a lot of times Magento admin users are created. These are created so that they can be later used as a backdoor to gain access again. So you should audit all these, check if any unnecessary Magento admin users have been created, if any new FTP or SFTP users have been created, if any unknown SSH users have been created, you should just audit and delete all unnecessary users and change the passwords also. Okay. So after this, you should block some sensitive URLs. By sensitive, I mean like they can show some confidential information about your website. And some few of the examples are listed here, like PHP info files. These should be blocked. Your Git config files should not be accessible to anyone. Magento config files. So we have seen Magento stores with even local.xml accessible using a browser. So all your database details are accessible to anyone who opens that. It's a crime, guys. Then third-party URLs like Magmi, other Magento URLs like var, like Magento API URLs like RSS catalog, all these should be ideally blocked. Then you should harden your PHP and your web server. Uh, there are some PHP functions that should be disabled by default, like exec, like shell exec, like pass through, like system. So why these should be disabled? Because these are the primary reasons, like they are used in those PHP web shells and other exploits. So if these are not required, you can just disable them until unless some extension specifically requires these, because Magento by default doesn't require these. Okay. Then you should block PHP uploads in media folders, because this is also a very common exploit, that PHP files are uploaded to media folders where access to upload is allowed. So this should ideally be blocked. Then we should always try to use the latest versions of PHP. The problem with M1 not supporting PHP 7, again, the power of our community. Our friends at Inchu have developed a patch that can be used to get support for PHP 7 with M1 also. And you can get the link here. It's available on GitHub. So even for M1, you can try to use PHP 7. Then you should turn off the web server signatures. That's very important. And a lot of times Magento websites also have WordPress blogs with them. So that becomes another attack vector, because WordPress is also very easily, like it's prone to hacks. So hackers can use access in WordPress to get then get access to your Magento store also. So you have to ensure you protect your WordPress blogs also. In addition to all these, it's always good to have another added layer of security, for which you can use web application firewalls. So web application firewall is a firewall that sits in between the internet and your actual server. It filters out the bad traffic. By bad traffic, I mean, for example, the identified OWASP top 10 vulnerabilities or cross-site scripting requests. All these are blocked by these. For these, you can use Sucuri, you can use Komodo Sea-Watch, you can use Fastly, you can use Akamai, depending on your requirements and depending on your budgets. These start from as low as like $15 per month. Okay. So you are a merchant, and a lot of things that we discussed today went over your head, which is fine. But what you must ensure is get a fully managed Magento hosting partner who understands Magento and understands security. Then you can hire professionals with Magento security experience to help you with that. And you can also get like one-time malware cleaning services also. These are available from Sucuri, these are available from Sea-Watch, these are available from GetAstra, and there are a number of companies that can help you get rid of the malware one time. But the suggested thing is to partner with the first point, that get a managed Magento hosting partner, because in that case they'll take care of everything for you. You should also ask your developers and your hosting partners to do a couple of things. These are very important. So they should have an incident response plan handy. So if something like a hack happens, what should be done? And one such plan has been created by a friend and a very well known name in the Magento community, Talesh Siparsan, which is available on GitHub on this link. Then they should also audit the logs to identify the exact attack vector. What happened? How did exactly the hack happened? Was it some theme? Was it some extension? What exactly was used to gain access to your store? That is very important. Then you should ask your developers to follow the coding standards. Link is given here. They should also report the malware signatures and the malware domains, because it helps to identify those and block these at a timely in a timely fashion basically. And a friendly piece of advice from our very own Ben Marks: do not edit the core. Okay, let's just quickly revise what we discussed today. Always apply Magento security patches. You can use the patcher that has been created by the Mage Security Council. Do not use the bad extensions. The list has been shared, that was created by Willem. These have vulnerable code, so avoid using them. Fix responsibility, that is very important. Who will be responsible to bring your store back to working condition once it gets hacked? Will it be your hosting company? Will it be your developers? Will it be some third party? But you should know it beforehand, before a hack happens. Who will take care of that? Partner with a managed Magento hosting company that understands Magento, that understands security. Then you should block Magento related sensitive URLs like var, like magmi. Then you should harden your PHP and web server. You should disable some of the PHP functions. You should turn off the web server signatures. Again, the next point is also very important. You should change the Magento admin URL to a custom one. Uh, and along with that, that is something that a lot of people will tell you, but you should also then enable brute force protection. So even if someone comes to know about the custom URL also, then also you have a brute force protection. So for example, someone is trying to log in and enter the password like incorrect password 5 times, so he will automatically be blocked. And you can also add IP restrictions. So only your own IPs will be able to access that URL. So if possible, if you have static IPs, try to do that also. Then you can enable two-factor authentication. Extensions are available for that also. Always like regularly scan your media folders for PHP files, because technically it should not be there until and unless there's some customization or some extension that requires it. So try to block these or scan these regularly to find out if any PHP files or image files with PHP code are present in that. That is also possible. Okay, so we discussed Mage Report and Mage Scan are our friends, but I have mentioned here to block them. Why? Because they show you the vulnerabilities, they show you the problems with your store, and these things can also be used by the bad guys to hack you. So technically, Mage Report, Mage Scan should be blocked. Use strong passwords and change them regularly. Never use keys in the code. Then there should not be any test files or DB dumps in your production setup. That is also a lot of times developers do. File permissions should be impeccable. We have seen a lot of times that the simple thing that they find out is to just change the permission to 777 if something is not working. That should not be done. Ensure you have backups. You should run some drill tests regularly to see if those backups are actually useful. You can use them to restore it back or not. Because this is also a very common thing that people set up backups, but when actually they needed to restore it, they find out that those backups were not in a working condition. You should have a disaster recovery plan also with all this. And last but not the least, you should get PCI compliant. For small merchants, the fee is very, very like small, and you all the things that we discussed are sort of covered in that. So it's always better to get that also. These are some of the Magento security superheroes that have inspired a lot of people, including me. And below are their Twitter handles if you want to follow them. Thank you.